Yeah, you should have. Ah, D&D time. So. Waiting for my actual computer to my Discord to register that I'm live. But other than that, I am live. I will tell you, Kelly, that mic is super sensitive from personal. Uh, it will pick up all in that room, guaranteed. Not that that's a real issue. I don't mind. I just wanted to let you know. Yeah, no. Do you like that mute button on there now? And and then there's the bass button. Uh, it should be in should should be it should be stereo. I wonder why that's not. It's one of those things I'll have to. I I wasn't planning on doing that, but yeah, my stream and your stream. Shame on you. I even timed it with your timer. Exactly. You. No, it's going amazingly. But don't do that. He needs each and every follow, same as me. Follow both of us. But no. So now that we're live and that everybody is in our chats and everything, we left off at East Haven at Theo's parents' shop, and you guys procured a couple magical goods after doing a couple good deeds since then. You guys slayed a mammoth and a couple winter wolves. You butchered a couple giants, one of which was just grieving after for her dead lover. But you guys judged that they would probably attack the town. So whether that is or is not the case, you guys killed that one. The second one I was talking about, the first one did 100%. No, I know you did. Hey, that's a generalization. I know. But afterwards, you came back because you knew you wanted to be in this area for a little while, so you wanted to check in with Thea's father. Got, like I said, some magical swag, as Kelly is one to say. Uh, and now I believe the idea is to wake up, maybe enjoy some nice breakfast before heading out towards Bremen. So, we start this game right where we would have left it as you guys start to awaken. What would you guys like? You guys are at Theo's parents' house because he let you sleep there again. What? How do you guys start your day? Who wants to start their day? And I hate to. I was gonna say I hate to pull us out of the game, but I'm looking at Scruff's like stream, and the mimic that I chose in my picture is licking his right ear. It is very disturbing, but it's beautiful at the same time. Go ahead. You would probably do what? Okay. uh, apparently let a mimic lick us. Hey, I'm not the one licking anybody. The icon is. Anyways, moving on. Kelly said obtain cooked meat. Pretty sure you have to kill something while it's on fire. That might be another game. Breakfast is. How is breakfast at your father's place, Corey? Okay, okay. So I imagine sniffing around Theo's parents' spot, you you find something that is what you were looking for, and you probably just yeah, you probably he probably has a. Would you use a stove or would you cook it like spit style? No, I. So so uh, Theo probably like it looks out back to where uh got a rock. Yeah, that's what I assume. Like even if it's not smoke. Oh, so if he has like an oven or a smoker, you would use that file specifically. Um. Okay. So that's where you could be found, probably just cooking you up specifically some breakfast. Um, Anybody else have anything that they are starting in the morning? Like anything they would like to do other than meditate, helping around the house, getting some breakfast? I mean, that's an odd thing to wake up to, mister. See, I love that because I'm pretty sure you like do that typical like I just imagine that since you woke up to the smell of meat that you did the typical like cartoon style where you float out to it on the smell. If you don't want to, that's fine. That's up to you. But that's hilarious. No, that would be ridiculous. That's why I said it's up to him if he does that. What? Yeah, no, you changed to ghost, and the ghost has flight. How rare do you like your meat, Gavin? Hey, he's not the spiritual monk. You, you can actually make a monk that basically has that. Yeah. But yeah, so you two are enjoying your breakfast, having your little moment of floating there. Um, that I mean, Iraq might question stuff, but that's up to Iraq to bring up. Uh, Behind a locked door. Okay, so how can you turn into a bear? But anyway, you're meditating. You probably have while you're meditating, you probably just have a bird that ended up landing on your like outstretched arm. Uh, and you catch up with your father, Theo. Like just not deep catching up, but probably just like that catching up, talking to your father you haven't had since you left, and at least reminds you why you left. Not so much to get away from him, but just to see what you are other than with him. Yeah, exactly. Like you love your family and you don't actually want to leave them. It's just there's more than just family, and you realize that. Uh, but as the morning takes off more, probably around 9 to 10ish, you guys are all fed, like woken up, meditated, calmed, all of that good stuff, and all ready to head out onto the road. So if I move you guys, oh, I did not mean to drag you guys there. Yeah, you guys. Oh, good. It was dynamic lighted, so you guys couldn't see anything on that map, anyways. Uh, you guys are currently in East Haven. Let me just force you guys to look at where I'm looking. You guys were talking about leaving East Haven now and thumping along the path to Bremen here. 20 miles away, give or take. I love that that shows up. So, let's see where it actually, how long it actually tells you. So, Branchunda. So I'm gonna actually have to pull up my Branchunda to see how far you guys are out, but it's a several hours trek to get there. Is there any? Well, from yeah. So it will take you guys traveling via sled as you guys are. It'll take you guys about 3 hours to get to Branchanda. So, continuing on from Branchanda to Targos is an extra hour. So, about 4 hours after you started, you guys are back in Targos. Yeah, no, because I believe that everybody has their cloaks now. But when you're in Targos, the path that most of you guys would know that used to be there, seems to be buried in snow. To Bremen, it's still possible to get through it. It's just what used to be a short jog up the path now will take you a little bit extra. And it's not too much like going along the path, especially with Theo being able to, like he does, poke down the path and make sure that no false like depths and whatnot, no pits. Going forward, it's slow progress. It takes you guys, but again, you guys make up time with the carts and the sledding dogs. Probably another hour before you guys would get to Bremen. So all in all, you guys started probably around 10. It's probably 1 at night, like 1 in the afternoon, when you guys approach Bremen. As, boom, boom, boom. As I am, boom. But welcome to Bremen. You guys, dang everything. I'm just moving tokens and stuff to the forefront of the map. Not tokens, but stuff you would see. So you guys probably arrive along the backside here, down here at the south. What is the first thing you guys do at Bremen? You heard something about a monster in the lake, so you would know, like most of the lake towns, this town should have a dock. You can also check elsewhere. Swim out. I mean, he's more of a bird, judging by the look of him, but that's neither here nor there. I'm allowed. Uh, the other stuff, what? Oh, he copied that from me and the game I did to him, where I put my AC and passive so that he didn't have to ask me. Yeah. But I like I told him I never required it. And how you do that, if you guys do want to do it, is it's over in settings, in the my settings at the very top, display name. Yeah, no, you're fine. You're I don't like I said, I don't expect it from anybody. I just learned it from this thing I do with Monster Hunter. But yes. So, I know I don't know if it was a joke or not, but a rock said something about that, even though you probably wouldn't see it right where you are. I mean, maybe. Who knows? Um, has anybody ever? Has any of your characters been to Bremen before? As players in the game, you guys haven't. I'm wondering if your characters have. You would have just been around. You said. Okay, I was just curious about like who would have known like the end in town hall and stuff. That's all. So, you would know about the ends, Kelly. These two ends, and those who have been around, and the town hall. Just so you guys have a clear. You also would know about like the docks over there too. So what's the game plan? Probably in the buried treasures down in the bottom left. Drink, drinking's happened a lot. That was Kelly flirting with the person and accidentally getting a date. Uh, but yeah, so there's that. Also, yeah, because I was about to say, just tavern, you probably have people who work at the docks drinking. Docks, you probably have people there that might have encountered whatever attacked them, if it left any survivors. I mean, no, just, if they got attacked in the water, who knows? I mean, that's a choice that if you don't have a swim speed, I'll leave up to you. Because swimming is an easy enough skill that most everybody could have it. But swimming well, that. I mean, typically swimming might be athletics for most parts. But that's only if you have to. Like, you could be a weak swimmer, like enough to keep your head above the water. But if I asked for any checks, it would be athletics, so you would. I mean, if that's your goal there, maybe. This is all water, so there's those docks above it, though. Yeah. Okay. So I've heard from several people. um, don't worry, I have this ring of anchoring. It'll work wonders. Uh, so you guys head forward through town. It it's a bit of a smaller town. Those of you who've been here know that it's only like 100 to 200 somewhere now people, so it's a bit of a smaller town comparatively, especially after Branchanda and such. A lot of dock hands like walking to and from ends and homes. As you guys come towards the docks, uh, the lake around the creaky docks are frozen, forcing fishers to pull the rowboats up onto the ice. Standing between a pair of rowboats is a stout humanoid in cold weather clothing. A gray hood hides most of the humanoid's face, but you can make out a wide nose and a long, frosty beard. The stout figure stomps their feet, spots you, and waves you over. Good, you're here. Get to it, ingrates. Them fish ain't gonna catch themselves. So, ahead of so what you see around the person that is you see two boats tied to the dock. One has the word gun. One has the name Gunwale on the side. Gunwale. It looks like it has a large bite taken out of it, but both of them look seaworthy. But he looks at you guys like, I ain't got time for your games. Come on. Fish are just waiting to be caught out there. Uh, he uh he frowns and he looks at you guys like, that doesn't matter. Deal's still the same. 5 copper per caught trout, and time's better spent angling than yapping. Uh, anybody? By the way, anybody speak Dwarvish? Okay, he murmurs like he was before Rock hands him gold. He was murmuring about something in Dwarvish. Uh, takes the gold. He like takes the gold. Looks up at you like, I ain't the business of my employees paying me. You can talk, but I'd still like it if you were my employees. Seeing how they seem to have not shown up. He just hollers off in the distance. Uh, he looks up at you, Arak. Like, since you gave him the gold and said you wanted to talk. What do you mean? Uh, don't you see? Bloody ice everywhere. Last crew were apparently born with pits for eyes because they sailed right into that damned ice flow. I ain't gotten around to repairing Gunwale yet, but she floats just fine. That's why I hire other people. Smart businessman doesn't go out and do the job himself. I ain't know nothing about that. Um, and as he says that, you hear footsteps approaching on the creaky dock. Another figure covered head to toe in cold weather gear clothing has joined you. The figure wags a gloved finger at the frosty bearded dwarf. You have no honor, barrel bore, the newcomer yells, pulling down a rolling muffler to reveal a pale half elven face. You're sending these innocent people to their deaths, and for what? A few fish? Pay no mind to this rambling fool, says Gwyneth. Did you tell them about the monster? Retorts the half-elf. And at this, Gwyneth curse is, says some kind of dwarvish curse before turning to you guys and yelling, get to work, as he stomps off out of earshot. The half-elf approaches you guys sheepishly. I'm getting the feeling Ganesh doesn't like me very well, or anyone who steps between him and the gold swimming in this lake. I'm Tally. I'm studying the local animal life here on Icewind Dale. I just couldn't stay silent and watch another crew fall victim to the monster of Melduden. Well, I've only heard reports of a creature and they're attacking fishing parties, but I've been very interested in it and such. As, like I said, I'm studying the local animal life. And from what I found, only boats from Bremen were attacked. So I've been frequenting the docks to warn any uninformed people such as yourselves. Description of the monsters vary wildly. Some say it's the size of an ox, while others say it's closer to the size of a house. Some say the monster might be a whale or large fish, while others describe it as more lizard-like in appearance, with scary skin and a long neck. Well, he, Telly looks over towards the boat. They actually found that boat adrift. Its crew presumably lost at the lake. I would like to better understand this monster, which has only become a threat recently. Perhaps this unending winter has an effect on its eating habits or demeanor in some way, shape, or form. Tally pulls out a notebook. I can't offer you much other than my gratitude, but if you would go out onto the lake, please write down any information you learn about the nature of the monster. If we know what's out there, the people of Bremen would be much safer for it. And well, it bears the potential to be awfully interesting. Nature is so fascinating sometimes. Uh, Tally, back and forth waves the one in their hand. No, I wasn't gonna ask you to sacrifice your own goods. They hand over the book. The best and easiest way to go out into the lake would be to accept Goodness job offer. Might even earn a couple copper pieces while you're out there too. Hey, sometimes everything counts. Like, if you have a copper piece, you might be able to pay a mimic to stop licking your ear. Yeah, this is gonna be the only icon I use for the rest of the game, guys. I yeah, I'm going to input it and make sure. Gavin, you're always a meme to me. Anyways, Uh, so that's what they offer you guys. What? But of course, I don't want to push this on you guys. Go ahead. I'll step over here and let you talk about it at least. And they go ahead. Ah, well, I typically make notes in common for that's what most people understand around these parts. But if you wish to write them in either, that's fine by me. And they walk away so they don't eavesdrop on your guys' conversation. Um, so let me pull. Um, so the boats look like they can hold about 4 medium creatures in their gear. Um, and if you had to say on a scale of 1 to 50 how damaged the boat is, it's about at a. It looks like it's only down about 14. Ha- Have you ever looked at what's in Thieves' Tools, Scruff? Like, Thieves' Tools have a crazy amount of stuff in them. Uh, yeah, that's what it's intended. Well, there's 2 boats, too. Hmm. Huh. So, what is. Then you were talking about going to a tavern or town hall? Um, and is everybody coming along, or does people want have other ideas they wish to pursue as well? Okay, so perfect 50-50 split. This can't go wrong. So for Right Fang, I would like an investigation using charisma. So if you're proficient with investigation, just any skill that you is proficient with charisma. If you're not, then just roll me a charisma check. Okay. And I would like the same from Theo. Charisma investigation. So if you're proficient with investigation, then it, Theo's the one looking, and I didn't give White Fang advantage. But it doesn't need it. And the 2 is still the same with your charisma? Or is your charisma 1? Okay, so it's 19. Still really good. So, we'll start with White Fang, and then we'll head over to Theo to see where you guys end up. So, White Fang, you come off the docks, and you know that the town hall is right over here. So, you guys start making a beeline towards the town hall. But right when you get right about in here, you probably notice a couple sailors, or what look to be fishermen, heading in and out of a couple taverns here. Do you continue past them to the town hall, or do you see what's going on here? A gruff half-orc like fisherman like stops with the door open, turns you. Yeah. Nods at you. Yeah, that demon has been attacking us all the time. It's got me so like scared to go on the lake. I debated moving my family to another one of the 10 towns. No, but it's just a dark shape below us before it knocked my friend into the water. We got him back in, but poor sucker didn't make it to shore, what with the cold and whatnot. That it is. The winter will end. Basically freezes us on the best of days. It's already frozen the water at the docks. Be careful, that thing's large. I'd be careful if I was you. I wouldn't want anybody to get in trouble with it. Nods at you. Cheers. And he heads into the tavern he was heading into. So you continue onwards for a couple minutes walking to the town hall. It's your standard log cabin style building. What would you like to do here? Uh, okay. You walk in the door, and while this is a smaller town, it probably wouldn't have the receptionist that some of the bigger ones would have. It does seem to have a table off in the back. Maybe a larger table than a reception it would have. And let me see if there's some. There's behind the large amount of paperwork, you see the top on the bald top of a dwarven head. This is. Oh, oh, hello there. How can I help you? It's been causing us issues that it be. What? How are you planning on helping us? I can't offer much. Unfortunately, that's most of what most of us have. It seems like most people that see it don't get a good eye on it, or they don't make it back. Though I can tell you, it seems to be taking more bites out of boats than it is people. Shall we? Yes. Or at least that's the assumption some of us have going on. It seems to be knocking people out of boats and then swimming away. A few of them have survived the dip in the lake, you see. Or attacking the boat to try to destroy it. Not not too many missing limbs, if you catch my drift. No, I know Grimmix down at the docks. He had some survivors, but they skipped town, and he was fuming about that. Something about not having fishermen to go out on the lake for him. He seems to not believe the monster's real. Yeah, but you know us dwarves, famed for our stubbornness. He won't believe it until he's eye to eye with it. Uh, don't don't let that like lure you into a false sense of security. I wouldn't want you getting hurt because you think it's safe. It has caused more death than it has saved. Um, uh, we're not a big town, you understand, but probably close to a half dozen, maybe a bit more. Missing crews that don't come back. It's hard to attribute all of them to it. But we can be sure that at least indirectly it's gotten that half dozen. He 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 looks at you. It's like, yes, but every person of that 200 is important to me as your speaker. And we don't solve it soon, there won't be many people fishing left in Bremen, and that's our main source of income, exporting the Knucklehead Trout. Might not be actively killing us, but it will just the same. I don't want to add more names to those who we've lost. Son, neither do I. Every time he's quiet, by the way, he's just kind of like staring off in the distance, maybe out a window or something. Exactly. Exactly. But is there anything else you would like to do, you two? Okay. Probably. Welcome to the wilderness. Uh, but yes, we fade out and head to the other into the camera pans out from you guys as you guys say that, and zooms across town, giving very picturesque views of it as it zooms in on Theo and a rock, probably outside of like a fishing building. Uh, and we fade in just to hear them talking about it. Exactly. we know for a fact that none of them laughed. Uh, it led you here. This seems to be a shop that specializes in fishing gear of sorts. It looks less like tourist shop for fishing and more like the if you are actually fishing, you should head here kind of place. Um, the you probably see through windows on the wall some of the bigger, heavier fishing poles, and I think what caught your eye is there was a net of some kind in there. You see like threads of it. So you walk in and along the side, probably messing with the reel of a like the REEL of a fishing like line, threading it and whatnot. You see probably Yeah, probably a human of some kind. He's just messing with the real. He hears the bell of the door of you entering and looks up. It's like, oh, greetings, welcome, welcome. What can I do to help you guys? I become that thing. It's been killing business around here. I'm not afraid to say it. Nobody wants fishing gear when they're afraid to fish. Of course, if I can help, let me know. You see what I have around here. I can't offer too much for free because anybody can walk in and say they're dealing with the problem, but I fear you know about the creature. You know about most of the rumors I know. Though I don't think it's as big of a house as most people seem to like to believe. No, it's closer to that ox that some of them say. So, I have some fishing nets, but I'm not sure how much they'll help you. He points up on the wall. Uh, it's sorry, Gavin's chat keeps distracting me. No, you're fine. It's Cat Princess that caught me off guard. Uh, now that I mentioned it, quote, can I seduce the sea monster? End quote. But there's not. I am not sorry. I don't expect you to be sorry. Be a little weird for your Baxi character, though. um, well, I have nets of that size, though I'm not sure how weighted they would be. Uh, I do have fishing weights and such that we could use. Though take a little bit of doing. Uh, okay, let's see. And I'm just gonna do a quick Google real quick, just in general. Um, da, da. So what we're looking for, I'm gonna talk.
Surprise, motherfucker!
I'm on stream live, Jess.
I know.
How about? Yeah, two streams. You didn't just mess up mine. You messed up somebody else's, and that's why doors are locked now. So I'm going to count this as like the net, uh, and what a net does is a larger, smaller creature in the net can be restrained until freed. If you make it weighted, I will make the check they have to make against it at disadvantage. Yeah. It'll be it's a ranged martial weapon, and it's with the weights and the net. It's gonna cost you about 5 gold, and about 30 minutes of tinkering with him to get it to work. Yeah, it's the net weapon, so you can actually drag it onto your sheet, and it should auto populate like the attack roll. And yeah, so I think that's the best way to do this. It at least gives you something for your creativity. Um, yeah, it's gonna be 5 gold total for the net with the weights. Okay, so fishing tackle is a normal wooden rod. So reinforced one would probably be like another 3 gold for one. You can. He probably has spears. I don't know about tridents. Yeah, no, druids are kind of awesome about that. Reinforced what? Like you talk about spears. Um, you probably wouldn't like. They'll probably throw it like the kind that you reinforcing spears probably wouldn't be as needed because they are both thrown and stabbing weapons. Uh, they're a gold each. Um, I wouldn't recommend it. It's always a chance if they work or not. Like some of them don't hit as hard as the others. They don't stick. Plus, then if you miss, you lose all of them in one go. But you could. So he probably has like 3 or 4 larger spears, but he has like 10 what I'm gonna call like fishing they're fishing javelins. They're basically javelins that you can that are just repurposed as like the fishing harpoons. The first he's offering the fishing harpoons if they will help at a discount of half price. Uh, spears are spears are a gold each, and he has 5 of them. For the javelins, they are 5 silver each. He said half, so you get 2 for 5 silver. So you get 4 for gold. And he has 10 of them, so 2.5 gold for the javelins. One 5 gold if you want all 5 spears. Okay, Gilgamashing this. Gotcha. Well, that might be true. I mean, yes, that too. Yeah, it would be a specific like heavy duty fishing tackle line, like fishing tackle. with like a reinforced hook and a reinforced pole so it doesn't like snap, and a thicker line on it. Yes. Uh, is that all? Is that all you guys needed? I mean, they have you already. There's that too. Most, not to mention the bait is the boats you'll be out in. Yeah, but yeah, he was asking you to rock and Theo if there's anything else you need. Nah, like of course, anything that might stop that creature out there. And as you guys leave the building, because the building is like right here on the dock still, you see Right Fang and Forgotten coming down the road towards you. For you two, you see a rock like kitted out with 5 spears and 10 fishing javelins, and over the shoulder of Theo has a reinforced fishing pole and a net like hanging off his backpack. They are just full on hunting season, decked out. Well, the problem is a lot of people don't know what this thing is. They and even at the like head place, Joseph, it's hard to get a description. They went after something more concrete. They're like, we want fishing pole, spear, net. Like that's something that they could easily get in a fishing town. Yeah, he has a sweetheart back. No, I'm kidding. Yeah. Yeah, it's just whether good or not. Um. So yes, you guys have spears and whatnot. You have just for the chat here. We have 5 fishing spears, 10 fishing javelins, 1 reinforced fishing tackle, and 1 rated net. But probably not the size of a house. Which which is still good tidbit that you got too, Joseph. Oh. Uh, there's not there's not much info that they have in there. That they were looking for more info, but they haven't been out on the lake themselves. Va- Vague drawings maybe on one of the pages that that matches the description you got earlier. Like some drawings are scary, some are large, some have long necks. No, the cloak just counts as part of your cold weather gear. You would still be affected. It doesn't give you cold resistance or whatnot. Yes. What does let me see, let me see. Corporeal stride. You can move through other creatures and objects other than physical barriers, such as walls, floors, or ceilings, as if they were difficult terrain. On your turn, you can pass through 10 feet of physical barriers, treating them as difficult terrain as part of your movement. If you end up inside the object. So, what were you asking about this? You you could, yeah. If like it says right there on your turn, if you wanted to, you can move through solid stuff. So you could easily do that if you wanted. Just don't end your turn halfway through, or else you take a D10 of damage. Dealer's choice on that one, or my choice on that one. Depends on how much you are through it. Like if only your head's through it, then I would say no, you would be in the boat. But if like your upper chest is through it, you might get pushed into the water. Huh. But you also are subjected to anything that happens with the water, like any cold effects or anything too. Because you are in the water. Um, but yeah. So you guys have your gear now. What's your game plan? I mean, you could. I was about to say you could just fish too. Like, need something to do on the water. I see nothing wrong with this. I'm more concerned about shooting fish at the edge of the dock and all of a sudden something jumps out and eats you. That terrified me when that happened because I did not expect it. And I just am an awful shot. And I missed and I shot into the lake too many times. And it let me know. I saw that. You could also put spaces in there too. Yeah, no, I see that. But Kelly, you're unmuted. So near the boat, the same dwarf that was there looks at you like, "You guys finally ready to do some work?" Talked to you last night in the tavern. You agreed to 5 copper a fish. He gives you that look like you're trying to pull one over on him. If you charge it too much, it's not gonna make me anything anyways. More than you go out there with my boats that idiots have been demolishing as it is. I have to pay to fix that. Give it. I haven't had time. How much are you wanting? Yeah, no, it's not just him. 5 copper a fish. He looks at you. Looks to be debating. Anybody else want to say something before he talks back? I'll make you a deal. If you damage either of the boats, you pay for the repairs, I'll give you 10 copper a fish. Yes. Given enough time, you might be able to carve the piece to fill it in. I'm not sure about the rule. Yeah. Hey, not everybody's gonna have mending. Some people, it's a niche spell that doesn't actually come up very often. Can you believe that? But yes, no. In general, you probably could, given enough time. I don't know the rules on woodworking, but you have the woodworking tools, so I would assume you could. Yeah. Just, he looks like you read the fine print and like spoke up about it, but he's like, fine. And he sticks out his grubby gloved dwarf hand. You guys need to leave soon. Daylight's burning. It shifts on the ice a little bit. It'll need dragged. Yeah, it'll need dragged a little bit to get off the ice. So who is at which boat? So Right Fang and Forgotten are in the slightly bite taken out boat, right? Avak and Theo and the other one. Uh, yeah, I also wanted to ask that. Is any gear being handed out to anybody else, or... So if they wanted spears and javelins, they could have gotten them from you? Okay, so... So you have a... It's one of those gnarly little, like... Go ahead, Kelly. 2. It's this gnarly looking harpoon spear. Like, you know, with the barbed tip on it. So you now have 2 fishing spears. So... They use the same stats as the regular javelins, so you could drag those in for both of you, and it should auto-populate the attack. Or I can if you want. So, you guys drag the boats out to the water. On the water, there's no real place to go, so you guys would just go in a direction. Rowing out. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah. So, over the next hour, I actually have this table that I get to roll every hour. So, for the first hour, let me get down to wherever L. Need L. Is this it? No. Here, okay. So I get to roll this. A cold wind blows across the lake for the next hour. The lake's normal still water becomes choppy. This doesn't do too much because I'm not making you make the checks that it asks for because I don't see the point in it. It's a real check. It wanted you to do like a wisdom check to steal it, like the boats, against the ice flows, and it felt off to me. So I'm like, yeah, just have you guys fish for a little while. But it is a little choppy. You can fish, but it's a little bit more. Yeah, the ones who may fish find it a little bit more difficult because you're trying to stay in the boat and whatnot. Okay. Well, over the next hour, then after that, you see off in the distance a keelboat flying a flag from Targos. There's several fishermen on board, as well as a captain Stan. They yell out to you like, "Hey, how goes the fishing today?" We were just dragging up some of our nets now, and you see them pulling and trawling nets up with some fish, some of the knucklehead trout in them on board. Yeah, though these waters aren't quite as friendly to those. And he looks up at your flag from Bremen. I suggest you try a little bit more west of us, away from our fishing areas. I don't know. We probably not. That is a good question that I don't have the answer to. So, I God damn cat princess. Uh, yeah. Um. Yeah. They probably pull a net that has like 10 fish in it, and they're like for a net like this we could probably get anywhere between 10 and 20 gold. They're like 20 fish in there at most. It the thing with the fish is they'll. Have you ever seen a knucklehead trout? Uh, your characters would have. Let me see if I have a picture. I do. I know I do. Boom. This is a knucklehead trout. They'll. They have a specific head evolution there that you see, and that is particularly rare. Believe it or not, and this is something that everybody that lives on the lake would know because knucklehead trout are like a major export. Uh, they are they can weigh a male knucklehead trout can weigh up to 70 pounds or more. Yeah, yeah, that's 10 is about right. I said 20, but I double checked the weights and whatnot. So yeah, there are like 6 people on that boat pulling out though. Uh, Not to mention that's the market sale because they also have the. And this is another thing you would know because you guys actually have some figures carved from it. Ivory like bones in their head that people carve figures out of, and the figures are worth a good bit too. I put it in um yeah, in the actual it's in the Discord. Not Discord but the game, but I can grab it for Discord. Yeah, no, it's a beautiful fish, isn't it? 70-pound fish right there for males. 50 for females. You also could just uh, uh basically a gold up head. Uh, they have like 10 in now. You don't need to buy all of them either if you wanted to buy. No, these are what you were fishing for. You also, yeah. Not to mention, if you come back like empty-handed, there's nothing he could really do. Yeah. No, this is the fish that everybody loved, the knucklehead trout. What was that, Joseph? Oh yeah, all of you guys would have eaten this at some point. It's very delicious. Are you a? Yeah, I was about to say, are you a fish kind of person? That's. I mean, it's very delicious. Um, I think instead of rolling the macro for now on too, I'm gonna have one of you guys roll, but that's what they're trying to get you to fish elsewhere by showing off like look how much better we are in this area. We're fishing it empty, kind of thing. Uh, but they start to sail away, and they yell at you like, and if you don't get any fish, maybe you better off just going back to Bremen. After all, there's that sea monster around. And they say it in that same tone. Okay. So, like I said, I'm gonna have one of you guys roll instead. So, let's start at the top. Kelly, go ahead and give me a D20. Oh, wow. Look at that. Oh. And that what's great is it didn't require a nat 20, but it's perfect too because like that just runs perfectly. Let me so an hour goes by. Theo, you're fishing, not really catching much. Just every once in a while, just a nibble, but not really too much. Um, when ripples disrupt the surface of the lake, causing your boat to bob from side to side, a large mass glides through the dark water below you. And if anybody wants to roll a nature check for me, I hope you nat one. Anybody else? Don't worry. We'll get to you second nat 20 of the night. So, Avak and Right Fang would know. Uh, and you might have other information later on, Right Fang, depending on what I want to give you for that nat 20. But what Avak would know as well is this is a plesiosaur. It is. Uh, no, I can't give you the handout that shows it because it is kind of spoily, but it is a very cool plesiosaur. All of you guys know what a plesiosaur looks like. I'll hand out the handout when the time is right. Let me see though. There is another thing I have to roll, which is can somebody roll me? It's you know what, Mister Nat 20 White Fang, roll me a D6. A D6. Oh, okay. So it surfaces 10 feet away from Arax and Theo's boat, and with its long neck darts forward and takes a bite out of the boat. So this is just how it interacts, and then you guys like I'll roll for initiative. It's not quite combat, but if you guys want to do anything, it would be like in order, if that makes sense. Uh, but the boat takes 16 damage. And don't worry, guys. There's no token yet. But I set this up. Because I knew you guys would have this. I did what wrong? Oh. What thing is... Yeah, just move to whichever one is not broken. And broken. Wait, how do you tell which one's broken or not? I'm not seeing it in the image. No, it's just the icon is kind of dark for it. It's not all the way in the water. The right thing is over with. Boom. So it just took a bite of your boat. Let me hit this. Theo is on the initiative tracker. Yeah. So add 10. Wait. Your initiative is 16.2. Theo, which is auto calculated in it. Yeah, if you highlight it, you'll see that it is. Look at people getting nat 20s tonight and not clicking the tokens. You're good. What? Yeah, but you don't know what this one is. Not to mention, you wouldn't know that. But yeah, this is the handout now. Since you guys could see it. All right, no, it's still no. Never mind. No, the spoily part is not done yet. So let me reorder the initiative. Forgotten. You're over here. What's the game plan? It attacked the boat. It specifically, like, very clearly, it could have darted out and like grabbed Theo with that bite. It specifically hit the boat. Like, it's not like from a lack of opportunity. At least with that attack, it seemed not to. You can always hold your action too. How you hold your action is you state what you want to do with your action and what triggers the action. So you could be like, if it attacks one of my friends, I shoot it with a bow. You have two. You have 4 of the javelins on the boat with you between you and White Fang. Okay. So okay. Very cool. White Fang. What about you? Ooh. Okay. Roll me that animal handling. Um, what does the potions do? Let me see. Animal animal friendship. Animal friendship spell. To read this out loud. This spell lets you convince a beast that you mean it no harm. Choose a creature that you see within range. It must heal you if its intelligence is 4 or lower, or 4 or higher, the spell fails. So you drink the potion, and you try to make the animal handling, but it doesn't feel like the spell took hold. You clearly know, by the way, taking the potion, what this, like, it's a magical object. You know what is the potion supposed to do, so you probably know those like triggers to it, and know that one of them have failed. Um, in fact, go ahead, animal handling. But I also want an Arcana from you. Okay. You don't know why the spell failed. You just know one of the parts failed. Uh, how do you animal handle it? Like, what are you trying to do? Is there anything specific you're doing other than just trying to rave its attention? Hmm. Okay. Okay. It seems to hesitate and look at you. It doesn't dart at you to eat food from your hand, but it doesn't seem like it's promptly ignoring you. Like it seems to look at you and understand you're trying to give it something. So there is that like recognition in it. Um. So is that gonna be it for your turn then? Just trying to rave it over with your action, trying to stop it from attacking, basically. Okay. So yeah, exactly. So a rock. What would you like to do? Okay. I don't remember if we asked you, but how does your mage armor look like? Like, so I like to imagine the globular yellow eyes that we have associated with your spellcasting probably kind of bleed over, giving you like a slightest yellow hue, and very clearly, almost like a shield over you, like an energy shield from Halo. Ah, that too. I need to play Fable one more again. Anyways, moving on to Theo. Theo, what would you do? The creature looked at and you saw the recognition of this person's trying to give me something from the creature, and as it looked over at White Fang, what would you like to do? Um, roll me. Let me see. What do I want you to roll me? I want to make it something that is appropriate. So let me see here. Roll me. Go ahead and roll me another. Roll me an animal handling again. Well, not again, but for you. Yeah. So what? Yeah, exactly. You guys, you have no more allowed for the night. It looks from right Fang to looks at you, and it like tilts his head slightly, and in common speaks out. I, and what I can only imagine is a posh British voice that I cannot do. I'm sorry, I don't seem to understand what you're saying. Would you mind switching to common? Uh, uh, let me pull back up my sheet. Huh. He, he, he nods like, I am so sorry about that, but someone is leaving me little choice but to listen to them, and so we all must do what we do. Um, I would like that, but how do I know I can trust you? I have everything to lose. If I go and get the human who gave me this gift of intelligence, it the name is they claim to be working for the Frostmaiden. They said I must do my part to help the Frostmaiden, who wants the people of Bremen to suffer. A yes. Go ahead, whip that tibbet. All of you guys can roll an Arcana. But of course you don't. You used your nat 20. Uh, see, see. What's great is this makes perfect. Uh, no. What's great? Let's see if everybody but Theo knows this. This would be so perfect. Okay, so everybody who scored a 15 or higher knows this. It seems like the human that bestow intelligence cast a awaken spell on this Plesioth. Uh, it's perfect for that nat 20 though, Joseph, because that is a druid spell. But for those of you who got that, basically a creature of an intelligence of 3 or less gets turned into a creature of intelligence of 10 and has so much and so much like it can speak common, blah blah blah, so on and so forth. So that's why he can both speak to you and why the animal friendship potion did not work. Uh, I think at least bits and pieces of it, you would know, because it, like I said, it's a druid spell, and you're starting to hear those like druidic whispers. But as you, go ahead. I think you would, but as you're like recognizing this about the spell and stuff, we're gonna go back to Theo and continue because I kind of interrupted that. We're gonna go back to Theo and see what he's doing. So Theo, you said you don't know much about magic. I I don't quite know. I don't quite have a get and grasp on time yet. All I know is I don't want to be a stupid beast again. I've been given this gift. again, it's hard to. Yeah, it's hard to. Yeah, Icewind Dale is like dusk all the time, and it spends most of its time underwater. Um, but he I uh no. So as you say that, that's right about where it clicks for Rock and Right Fang, and even Forgotten. I don't know where Forgotten. Maybe in a past life, Forgotten would have picked this information up. But no, that's it's all past life for you. Current life is past life. Um, it turns its head to you. I need I need you to make me. And before you click the button, I want people to know because this is something people can help with if they are proficient in it. Is I want a persuasion from you. I'm pretty sure somebody is. If not, you do have your once per game inspiration. Uh, you have to use it beforehand. Yeah, go ahead and roll it again. He's looking at you. Well, that, well, I if what you're saying is true, I don't know where the druid is or where they are now, but she did tell me that it could be taken away. But if you're saying that it's permanent, I can go back to living my life how I used to. I can go and stay away from all the fishes of the village. Well, well, if that's the case, I will trust and listen to you for now. But know this: if it turns out that you are lying to me and it is possible to remove, I will inform the druid of the trickery done upon me, and I will no longer just aim to maim the boats. I will sink each and every fisherman to the bottom of the lake. And as it says this, it slowly starts dipping under the water. It looks perplexed. I know I don't have one. The druid never seemed to need one for me. It thinks perplexed. Huh. It's thinking. I I've heard I saw a name on one of the shirts of the fishermen that sadly sank to the bottom in all this. I think I'd like his name. His name was Fred. As long as you guys spoke truthfully, it was a pleasure to meet you too. As he continues to sink under the water. Dips back up a little bit and looks at you. No, she was a human. In fact, I think her name was Ravishson. Let me put that in chat. Okay. I'm not to make you make a check for that. That's all fine and good. Like I said, I don't know where she is now or where she came from, but I hope that helps you. Yeah, like revision, ravi, something like that. I just typed it so if you guys wanted to keep notes on her. But she is a female human. It's all the Plesioff knows. Anything else before he dips back down? Okay. And so he dips his head under the water, and you see the dark shape swim off. Someone who gets their nature powers from the Frostmaiden, probably. Yeah. And you have 2 hours worth of fishing time. So what I'm going to do is that is 2d20s from somebody. So yeah, you all won, and okay, 16 and 2. Okay, so you can like it's a decent day for on off. Okay, so I need to find out right here. Okay, so there's two things. I'm gonna have something happen before you guys end, but let me get down. Where's the fishing point of this? Fishes water. No. Okay, so. Ba, ba, ba. At the end, so I need everybody who is fishing to make me a survival check at the end of the hour. I'll let you. Yep. Okay. So, 3 of you guys have succeeded. So there's no fish caught for forgotten. The other 3 of you guys have hooked a trout. I need an athletics check from all of you guys. So, yeah, no. So don't worry, because even a 5 could succeed because it is directly against their strength. So here's for Theo. Here's for White Fang. And here's for Rock. Okay, so Rock's gonna be the funniest because if Rock succeed, so a Rock pulls out. Oh, yeah, a Rock pulls out the fish. Like on the line, probably barely getting it in the cart. Okay, so for the second one, Theo, you it ends up pulling the hook for, like, it spits out the hook when you get it close. Now, for a player, a character who fails the check by 5 or more, I need a dex save. Okay, don't worry. As it pulls the fishing line from your hand, it almost pulls you in the water. But between Forgotten and you steadying yourself, you manage to stop yourself from falling in. So there's the first hour. You have another survival if you would like. Well, how much was that fishing? Let me double check that. Got this one. Okay. Yeah, but with that 1 hour isn't too bad. Okay, so there's 2 more successes. Theo, you don't hook nothing this time. I need athletics from you two. From White Fang and Forgotten. We'll find out. Cause you have at least athletic my ass. Yeah, exactly. Because everybody dumps it like you do when you're not a fighter or barbarian. Anyways. So, White Fang, and then, Forgotten. So, Forgotten, you managed to pull your own fish out. White Fang, I'm gonna need that dex save again as it tries to pull you into the water again. You succeed again, and it doesn't pull you into the water. Okay. So, we're gonna... Yeah, I'm gonna continue... So, I'm going to have one more encounter at the end of fishing. I'm going to let you guys, since this is a matter of time and not like a thing, I'm just going to have you guys go ahead and roll me a d6 plus 3, somebody. Yeah, d6 plus 3. Let's see how many you guys would catch by the end. Because 1 an hour is kind of hard, so that's 9. So, you guys will have a total of 11 fish going back. But let me see what that one event I wanted to do. So as you guys are heading back, from out of the lake, a Knucklehead Trout leaps and tries to make a tail attack against Theo. But Theo, your passive is higher than the required, so you are not surprised. You can use your reaction to either make an attack against it or try to grapple it. As it tries to jump out of water and hit you with its tail. Okay, so it's gonna get the attack at you. So 18 hits. So it deals 4 bludgeoning to you as you could try to grapple it now. So I need strength versus a strength or athletics. Uh, what? Yeah, he's using athletics against the fish's athletic. Nope, unfortunately, it's athletics. As it like pulls free of your hand. Uh, and let's make that. Yeah, no, these fish are crazy. Not to mention these fish are actually most of them are stronger than you guys. I need that deck save I asked from Right Thing. Yeah. So as you go to pull catch the fish actually pulls you in with it. The depth of the water isn't too deep. It's probably about 20 feet down to the bottom where you are. As the fish gets free of your hand and like swims away. Uh, so you're under the surface. What do you three do on top of the surface? You guys see his like what? Uh, get out into the water or take? Oh, okay. 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 You see him dripping wet, but it he doesn't see like. How do you react when you're out of the boat, Theo? That set us back. As you guys are gently sailing back to the dock now. And I believe this is the first time Theo and Forgotten have heard about the resurrection. Because I know you taught. Yep. Uh, I mean that is a possibility. Um, she seemed to at least she from initial glance seemed to at least have your best interest, but that some of the best villains always seem to have your best interest. As you guys hit the ice when you say that. Not like hit the ice, not hit the ice, but you guys have landed at ice. Well, the ice front, yes. Where you guys shoved off. Well, yeah, they don't know yet. You, I feel that your face always kills me. Sorry, sorry. The way you phrased that was perfect for that. I couldn't do. Um, as you guys pulling the ships up, Grinsk, the dwarf, was up. It's like, good. You guys got a good amount of knucklehead. He squints at the bite out of the boat, though. He's like, I'm here to honor the agreement. Here's a bag of ching ching. Uh, I plan on giving you half right now and half when you repaired the boat. And okay. Um, as you go off to get the boat, the yeah, you guys got fit at the 5 right now, but as you go off to collect the wood, uh, Tali walks up. Oh, oh, good. You guys are okay. You seem none worse for the wear too. Tell me, did you get any notes on the creature? Oh, uh, I want to see if I have stats for her to roll an insight on you. It doesn't. It doesn't change nothing. And the end. At the end of the thing. What do I? Yeah. Oh yes, I do have stats. Okay, so roll me a deception. Anybody that is proficient in it and will say out loud what they're saying to help. Can also remember you could just read her mind. Okay. You don't actually have to click it. You could just say like you have to say out loud, Gavin, what you are adding to the story to make it. Not yet. I'm gonna have him roll for it. I just need you to like say out loud like what you're doing to help him sell it. Yeah. Well, depending on what Forgotten says, I might. That's what I was going to do. If Forgotten sells the deception good enough, I might have used theirs. So, um, she's kind of she. Well, what? This is like an instantaneous thing where she's looking at him, and there was almost like a brief show of disappointment because she was really excited about anything to do with this creature. Because, like she said earlier, she studies animals and she was trying to protect the people of the town by learning more about this creature. And she was hoping for more information, but the notebook got dropped now. Well, I, she, looks like, well, I had, thank you for your effort, but if you guys do happen to have any information on that creature, I am staying at the inn in town, the Buried Treasures. I would still appreciate it. I was looking into things to reward you guys if you do come up with anything. And they turn around and almost dejectedly walk off. Oh yeah. Um. So when at what portion were you reading it, Kelly? Could surface thoughts matter. Uh, like when she's okay. So right about when she was talking about a reward. She okay. So in hopes for being honest, like she was just hoping to learn more about the creature. And she happened to have gotten a little bit of gold from the town and a spell scroll that she's not sure what it does. And she was gonna offer it to you guys, but she does it. She her hope. You actually sense in her mind like an actual like to quote hopes that are dashed as she's walking away. Also, when you say she, you really can't get a read whether it's she or he. Um, it's kind of androgynous half elf is what it is. Oh yeah, let me switch this back to Bremen now. Uh, so so Theo probably spends the next hour working on that boat, just repairing the bite. I won't make you make a check because you have the tools. You probably have done it before. Yeah. Anybody have anything particular that they wanted to do, or is it take a rest at town kind of thing? Yeah. Well, the half hour to hour to fix the boat goes by. It obviously is a patch job, Theo, but you fixed it and repaired it like you promised. And when he sees it, the dwarf grunts and gives you the other half of the gold. Uh, and by this time, it's getting a little bit late after all that fishing and dealing with it. It's probably about 9 o'clock at night. Uh, and you guys probably would get an inn in town. Um, would you guys want to sleep in one of the taverns over at the Five Tavern Center, or over at the Buried Treasure? Yeah, but just depends on whether uh, they believe you're lying or not. I didn't actually make a roll, by the way. I didn't feel like it needed one. I was going to, but I'm like, she isn't looking for you to be lying. They aren't looking for you to be lying, so I'm like, yeah, I don't really need to add more to it. Uh, but so you guys head to, yeah, we're calling it a session, and with that, you guys do level up to level 4. Not only that, but as people are leveling up, I believe you, Corey, was done a multi-class. Uh, yeah, he was talking to me about this. So with multi-classing on your sheet, I can do most of it. There's a gear at the top right to go to your settings. If you go now to the to the left, you'll see second class. You can actually click that. Yep, cleric 1 and little check there, and it adds it up at the top for you. So uh, go ahead. I'm going. I'm gonna change something real quick. I'm just gonna put the, because you said Twilight, right? Okay. Just putting that as a subclass thing. Um, well, it does change your total level there. You would have. I'll have to put in the information for you, or you. Uh, you might be able to. If so, let me turn off that extra level. Can I hit this? Oh, you cannot launch it. Yeah, no problem. But I can, yeah, I can add it too. So what we're gonna end this session with is a little bit of role play between me and Theo, because Theo, as you guys all go to sleep to level up, and as you're leveling up in the background, dreams. And because of that, let me pull this up. Okay. So, from the window uh, into your bedroom, a beam of moon cuts through the doom and gloom. the first one that you actually have noticed, Theo, since this winter has started. And I think that's what really like says to you that this is not real, that this is a dream. As it does, you look down at the window sill, and fluttering onto it looks to be a snowy owl. It turns your head and almost makes a gesture for you to follow it as it turns around and flies off. So as you get up and head to the window, out the window isn't Bremen, it's a forest. Still lightly green in the trees, almost like winter hasn't touched it really. As you get and lead out of the window, like jump out of the window and follow it, you see the owl just ahead of you on a branch in some clearing. As you walk towards it, it flutters down to the ground, and as you continue to watch it, it changes from an owl to an ethereal young girl, slender of frame and with both dark hair and eyes, wearing a slightly diaphanous robe, which is like slightly see-through, but not see-through enough that it's real, if you know what I mean. As she moves, she trails like little dust that reflect the moonlight. She smiles at you, a gentle smile that you feel could melt ice with its warmth. She's like, "Hello, Theo. I have been waiting for you to reach out to me." Yes. Yes, gods don't normally call upon mortals without being called upon first, even if the mortal doesn't know they called upon us. Well, I have come not so much for you to be solely an aid to me, but also for me to be an aid to you. This eternal night that Ariel is making, it's leeching some power from me, encroaching on my domain, so to speak. I would like your help and to help you end this eternal winter. Oh, deep down in, you are in the place that exists at all twilights. The twilight of summer into winter, the twilight of day into night. I am the goddess of twilight, Selune. Yeah, typically most people would know the major gods and such, gods and goddesses. It depends on how religious you feel your character would be, or at least how knowing of the religion. I would leave that up to you. Yes. She she smiles like that. That's the answer I expected from you. But fear not, for you will not go upon this journey alone. And she kind of like does that like prance that like no kids do up to you, and she goes to hand you something covered in a cloth. She nods. As you pull the cloth off, it's a beautifully carved. Uh, you you almost can tell, yeah, because you have several other figures. This seems to be carved out of Knucklehead Trout ivory, and it's in the form of an owlbear. She's like, a friend from your past made a plea to see you again, and so, as owls are special to me, I felt it was right to reunite two old friends. Not to mention, it aids and helping you as well. And as she said so, she like takes her two small hands and like kind of surrounds yours and like squeezes gently, and the figure starts lightly glowing. And she gestures for you to set it down. As you back up, like moonlight almost glows from it, and as the light dies down, you see an owlbear in front of you, a snowy owlbear, one that you probably recognize from your history. It looks almost like a juvenile. It kind of envelops you in a bear hug. He Saloon smiles and says, "They can't be with you at all times. I believe there's magical artifacts of like such that exist in the world, but it's the least I can do that aid the newest what should I disciple, friend, companion, and you, Theo." Uh, she looks at you and says, "The best way to aid me is to just end this awful winter." And with that, she smiles again. Moonlight envelops her again as she turns back into an owl and flies off. Uh, as the dream starts fading out, you awaken back in bed. It's still night. There's no moonlight outside the window, but clutched in your hand is the owlbear figurine. And that's where we will end it for tonight. Hope everybody had fun. And I hope you enjoyed that little bit, Koi. I was really excited for it. I don't think I have people just chilling in my chat, but I will follow that raid myself. Just in your from your chat. But I hope everybody had a wonderful day, and I hope everybody has a wonderful night. And we should be back either next week or the week after, depending on people's schedules. Some or all of us. I know my little brother couldn't make it tonight. But have a good night.